Its purpose is to muddle. We're gonna try that out by making a mojito.
Ugh, you do not need to muddle a mojito. What's up guys, it's your boy Alan again, back with another video. And today we're going to take a look at this video that just popped up on my YouTube feed. And I thought it would be interesting to talk about. It's called 5 Bartending Gadgets Improved by Design Expert. So this guy is not a bartender. I've seen a few of his videos before. And what he does is he used to work in designing products. And he would figure out, oh, a lot of people complain about this handle's too small or needs more grip. So he looks at a lot of gadgets and he critiques them. So today he's going to look at some bartending gadgets and I'll respond to his response and see if we agree or disagree. So let's check it out.
I'm Dan and I've been designing kitchen gadgets for 40 years. I'm going to test some barware gadgets and see if I can find a way to make them better. Not a great guess what? It's martini time.
So it looks like he's going to make a martini, and generally speaking they are stirred. Looks like he's gonna build it into a shaker. So if you have a guest asking for a martini, make sure to ask whether they want a gin or a vodka martini and how dry, shaken or stirred. You know, it's kind of like when someone orders a steak or a burger, you want to ask them how well they want their burger or steak to be done.
We're ready. We've got some vodka and I'm gonna go with the 2-to-1 version.
So the 2-to-1 version, that is a 2 spirit and 1 dry vermouth. That's a really good ratio for gin martinis. For vodka, most of them want a lower ratio of vermouth, if any at all.
2 olives. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, that's much better than stirred.
That's a topic for another episode.
I'm gonna try now to compare that to an all-in-one shaker. And what that means is it's got the strainer built in the cap. No need to hold it with 2 hands.
So in this case, he's comparing a Boston shaker with a cobbler shaker. So the Boston shaker is going to be a 2-piece shaker. You're either going to have a pint glass with a larger metal tumbler, or in this case, it's 2 tumblers of different sizes, 1 small and 1 large. And the cobbler shaker is going to be a 3-piece shaker where you have a cap, which can also be used as a jigger or a measuring cup. You have the strainer, which has holes on the top to strain it out. And then you have the base that you can build the drink out of.
The strainer, I would give a 1, even though it is maybe a nice color. I really don't think it has any advantage over the more traditional round strainer.
I would have to agree. I've seen these weird shapes like squares, Star Wars. I've seen one with a Mandalorian head on it. I don't really see any advantage of the square besides the appearance. And I think it's mostly for novelty.
So now it's time for the left-handed oil test. By making my non-dominant hand slippery, it's going to highlight areas for improvement. No problem there. Even though there's a cone shape, I've got those ridges to pull up again, so that helps.
So I would give this shaker some points just because of those ridges. Like, I've actually never seen it, and I've seen ones where they have a, you know, like a footed base like that, but I've never seen ridges in the middle of the shaker like that. And I think it will help a lot compared to like a traditional shaker, which is just smooth all the way around.
Okay, sounds like it's done. Ooh, man, my cup is a little stuck. And
okay, so he's not breaking that shaker the right way. So I have my shaker here, which is the same style as that. This is going to be a Boston shaker. And he's hitting it up here, which isn't going to do anything. You want to hit it right here, where the smaller tumbler is seated. You know, allow air to go in. So what happens is when you shake it with ice, it's going to create negative pressure. It's going to make the shakers tighter. It's going to pull it in. So when you hit it right here, where approximately where it seats, but where there's some kind of flexible metal right here, you hit it right there. It'll allow air to go in and it'll loosen up the shaker.
ooh, my cup doesn't want to release. I've probably used both hands.
The warmth of your hand sometimes will actually release the shaker just because that negative pressure as the shaker warms up will make it more equal to the outside pressure. But you don't want to do that because the drink is going to be warmer and it's probably going to get more diluted as well.
A little more clumsy, I think, but I can handle it. If you tilt this a little bit, you notice it's dripping from the side. Now, whoa.
Yeah, you can tell that it's the wash line is smaller, which means that there's more liquid. So that's probably additional ice water that the drink didn't need.
That being said, I don't think this needs to be square. And boy, if I start redesigning this, it may go back to just the classic round version of this. You don't get drips. If we had a simple round one, boy, I don't love the way this fits.
I would agree that square pattern seems kind of like form over function. This is one of the Hawthorne shakers that I use, and you can see that design is very simple. You have 2 prongs that prevent from falling into the shaker, like this. But you also have a textured, you can hold it here. And yeah, that one doesn't look like it can be used that well. It looks really nice because it's copper, but it doesn't look like it'll be good for like a high volume environment.
The Badass Muddler. Think Billy Club. Its purpose is to muddle. We're gonna try that out by making a mojito.
Ugh. You do not need to muddle a mojito. Do not muddle the mint in a mojito.
Okay, I'm splashing a little bit. I may be over muddling this.
Yes, you are over muddling because it doesn't need to be muddled at all.
I'm gonna add some ice, some seltzer, mix it lightly, and give it a shot.
So with crushed ice drinks, you generally do want to drink it with a straw, just so you don't get lots of bits of cold ice hitting your teeth.
In terms of effectiveness, I would rate it a 5 because, boy, on the downstroke, it really does take care of itself. It's got enough weight to give enough momentum. If I had this around, I would just be a little bit careful about it.
I've actually used that muddler before. I've actually never had any experience breaking glass with that, even though it is really heavy and very bulky. But I do want to say that that muddler has one big advantage over traditional muddlers, is that it can withstand liquid nitrogen, which not a lot of bars have liquid nitrogen, but there is a technique called nitro muddling, where right before you muddle the herbs, you actually freeze it with a little bit of liquid nitrogen, and you can crush the herbs into a dust with that thing. With traditional muddlers, sometimes it's so cold it'll warp or crack the muddler.
The Rabbit Retro Manual Ice Crusher.
So he calls that a retro style ice crusher. So here's one. This is called the Isomat. I got this from eBay. This one is like around the 1930s, and they're like all over the place. And they used to be mounted on the walls. You know, back when the tiki culture was very, very booming. They used to have these on all, like pretty much every single kitchen. And then when the tiki culture like faded away, people kind of like took them away, and now there's piles of them on eBay.
I feel like I really have to steady it with my other hand. And the reason there is this tapers down to a smaller footprint on the table, so it is more susceptible to tipping. So, boy, not totally in love with it.
So it's kind of funny he brings that up because this actual vintage ice crusher actually has a footed base for that purpose. So it's kind of weird that this ice crusher, which is modeled after this, is missing this part. Yeah, it's almost like going backwards.
Now this needs to come off, and bit of a struggle there. That may be an understatement. Okay, so I got to give it a pretty good push on a corner to get this to come off.
Looking at this review, I could already see like another design flaw on this retro style ice crusher, because this older one, the same thing that I was showing earlier, it's locked in right here, but there's 2 releases on the sides right here. And you press it and you release it. So yeah, I don't know why they would design this that's based off of this and it's missing like some key features.
Let's see now how the Rabbit Retro Manual Ice Crusher compares to Badass Muddler. Got ice and a towel and ready to start.
Oh, he's making a reference to the previous product. It's pretty funny. In bartending world, we have something called a Lewis bag that's specifically for that. And yes, that muddler that he showed is perfect for breaking ice. But one advantage of this guy is that the ice that it crushes, they're all even sized, where if you crush ice using a muddler and a Lewis bag or a towel, your ice comes out uneven. Sometimes you get ice that's not broken at all, and sometimes you get ice that is as thin as snow.
The ISI Soda Siphon. Its purpose in life is to magically convert ordinary water into seltzer. Let's see how it works.
So I have an older version of that seltzer charging bottle, and that design actually is way better than the one I have right now. So this is the one I have. It's also made by ISI, and you can see that it has very similar features, but that one looks way better. There's, let's see if we can get a focus. So there's ridges in here that allow you to grip it and to open and close this part. But that design looks way sturdier. And I remember even with these ridges and with dry hands, it does slip a lot. So that looks way more improved than this older one.
At this point, I believe I can remove the cartridge because it's been spent. Cap back on. Might as well squeeze some lime in here so I have something to seltzer into. Okay. Back. Work. I don't feel like it carbonated the water as much as an ordinary bottle of seltzer. It seems a lot more bubbly than this does. This does.
So FYI, whenever we use those seltzer bottles at work and even at home, we generally charge it twice.
I don't know if using 2 cartridges would make a difference, but I think that would be excessive to expect that.
Yes, it will make a difference.
Screw the top back on. I'm going to undo this, and this is a little difficult. So I've got a very shiny silver thing, and it means I need to squeeze more to get this off.
So yeah, he's taking that guy off. It's like a cap that you used to replace the thing that you used to inject the cartridge. There's nothing wrong with just leaving it on like this. I actually personally think it looks better. And whenever you have to take this thing out to recharge it, you could skip a step and you don't have to worry about slipping your hands like that.
It's hard to rate this because it's such a classic design. In terms of usability though, I would give it a solid 3.5. It looks like I'm like in a 1930s movie, and I feel that way.
I would actually agree with that. It's more for the novelty. You could double charge it, but bottled seltzers are probably just as bubbly.
The products that we looked at today, 3 out of 5 were pretty disappointing. So 2 recommendations, and this is probably a no-brainer. It's just a very simple shaker. And the other one is Badass Muddler, truly badass.
So I would sort of agree. I do agree with the Muddler and the shaker. Those look amazing, and I've used the Muddler before. The third one that I would recommend is the soda siphon. Bring that out for a party. It looks amazing versus, you know, opening up a bottle of Schweppes. But yeah, function-wise, it is it's a hassle. Yes, the cartridges are also expensive. A soda stream is way cheaper, and you can carbonate a lot more. But if you want to impress guests, I would recommend getting the ISI soda siphon. Well, anyways, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to review bartending gadgets like this, let me know on the comments below. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.